I told you earlier on that our producer, when he had his haircut earlier on, the barber let on that used to cut Alan Brazil's hair.
Oh, yeah, lovely, yeah. Very nice.
How old is this barber, for goodness sake, says Eddie the Gooner, if he remembers Big Alan with hair.
He had a good head of hair, Alan, didn't he?
Oh, yeah,
when you
tremendous.
Look him up in the 70s.
Curly,
yeah,
big,
70s,
big
80s,
curly
80s,
hair.
Yeah, 70s, 80s,
80s. Not your 70s.
Not 70s. He's not that old. Very nice.
Wore 2 bin bags, went as a raisin.
Nice idea.
Nice. Yeah.
Marilyn's got in touch. I said...
well, not the... Boy George's, mate, the old singer.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Excuse me, if West Ham can win the Conference League, then surely Chelsea can. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Not even Villa could win the Conference League. They crashed out, and look at them now. From Katie, who's a massive West Ham. Obviously on her mum's phone, on Marilyn's phone.
When Charlie says these provocative things...
Just going fishing, Paul. That's all it is.
He's just going fishing.
Just going fishing.
Last minute fancy dress, 5 minute fancy dress.
Oh, yeah.
Black trousers, black turtleneck. Who's got one of those, though? I went as the milk tray man, says Rich in Leeds. But
yeah.
A bit worried you've got that set up ready to go.
Hey, you've got to remember the milk tray man.
I'm just going to write down Rich in Leeds, burglar. Just write that down. I'll send the police round, Rich. We got your number. Anyway, we move on. Gianni Infantino has excited some and enraged many by saying, come to the next World Cup, there will be a half-time show. We all see what happens in the world of the NFL. They have a big half-time show. They're going to have one in the world of football now.
Oh, yeah.
So what it's like, I mean, you haven't got a lot of time. If he's going to... We don't have players seizing up with hamstring injuries. We've got enough of that already. Yeah. They don't want to be sitting around for half an hour. How'd you get them on and get them off and put a good show on?
Get the stage off, get the show on.
James Gidding joins us now. He is he programmes these things. He's put on these half-time shows in the music industry. He's also our old mate Chesney Hawk's manager these days.
He is indeed.
James, good afternoon.
Hello, James.
Afternoon, boys. First of all, first-time caller on this show. It's an absolute honour. I'm such a fan of you, all three of you boys, and Andy as well. It's 15 years I've listened to the show, and I go to bed with the podcast every night. So that's number one.
Thank you, caller.
Number two, why is everyone giving this halftime show idea such flack? I mean, you know, what could be better than enriching one of the most iconic sports moments that we get every 4 years? Gives artists an amazing opportunity to have a global stage. It makes the sport more inclusive because we bring in new audiences, new eyeballs, new revenue that helps the game, etc. Helps eradicate global poverty, maybe, and most importantly, keeps Chris Martin relevant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
People don't like change is the thing, James.
When you're the logistics of it, when you've been in this situation where you've done these things out in Qatar where you've got to get the players got to get off, manager's got to get out of the way, got to get the stage set up, you've got to make sure everything's right, get the artist on there, do their thing, all perfectly choreographed, and get them off in 15 minutes. It's not going to be easy, is it?
It's not going to be easy at all, and I think this is why it's had such a backlash. Is this idea? I don't think it's the halftime shows in principle, because they were very successful at the Qatar World Cup when we introduced them, because it was always going to end up coming to America, as you would imagine. I think what people have the issue with is the potential extending of halftime. Now, if you look at this logistically, they're talking about having more than one artist and it being quite a big production. I would be amazed if that could ever stick to 15 minutes. So I think undoubtedly that is the news that will come. I think they'll build a program of halftime shows like they did at the FIFA World Cup in 24 that will be smaller in size and scale and production-wise, that will fit into that 15 minutes. But I think we all might be looking at a world where we have to just once every 4 years potentially sacrifice a few more minutes of halftime. And I know the football purists will hate that. I'm a football purist, but it's quite an incredible opportunity to have such an amazing entertainment product within what is the most iconic sporting moment that we have every 4 years. I don't see a major issue with that.
Does it have to take place in the stadium? Because that is a very tiny percentage of the people watching. It's mainly a television audience. Would it need to take place on the pitch?
What do you want it to take?
Well,
just play it in
nearby.
But
only for the people in the stadium.
It's not a halftime show if you play it in. It's all part of the event, isn't it, James? I mean, I'm for all the reasons you've just gone into. This is the concern. If it goes on,
then I think it's a terrible idea.
It goes on for if it goes on for half an hour. You are starting to think,
that's what it's going to be.
Come on, this is the World Cup. There is nothing sacrosanct, but it'd be lovely if they could do an incredibly tight 15, 18 minutes, that would be sensational.
I'll do it. Happy to do it.
I think my gut would say they would try and get this, and they can simplify the production. And you know, we're in 2026 now, so all sorts of things with AI and holograms and lasers and lighting could make an exceptional production that doesn't need too much heavy lifting on and off the pitch. So there may be a world where they get it into 15 minutes. I hope that I'm not asked to be the guy to orchestrate that, but who knows? We may have to sacrifice a few minutes here and there. I can't see this being a 30-minute job.
The only thing I would say, James, is that I went Champions League final a few years back, and they're not particularly happy memory as a Tottenham fan. But whenever you watch the Champions League or big finals on the TV, you think, hang on, there's only 4 minutes to kick off, and the stage is still out there, and Pitbull's still singing, whoever it is. But they find a way, and suddenly the stages move very quick. They are very slick, aren't they, at getting bands and equipment and stuff on and off the pitch.
Incredibly slick. And again, we had the warm up. I say a warm up. We did an amazing job of it in Qatar, but they've learnt everything they need to learn to be able to deliver these big productions in and out at great speeds. And they've got 2 years of planning to do this. So there's no doubt they'll be able to keep it as limited as possible.
You're a big Swindon Town fan, James. I know that. Why don't they test it at Swindon all season next season?
Ollie will be up for that.
Half-time shows at Swindon Town all next season. Be a wonderful test.
Can you imagine? I can bring Chesney Hawks in to do it as well.
Yes, lovely. Chesney can come and do it. Warm up. I saw Rag and Bone Man at Twickenham at half-time. Came on, sang his... I think he got 2 hits, hasn't he? Human and... Giant.
You want more than Chesney, Charlie?
You're his manager, not me. And he sang, and then he got off, and it was like, that's all you sort of want. If someone comes on and does their 3 big hits,
you don't want Coldplay doing stuff from the new album, do you?
like
doing Jazz Odyssey.
And when George Michael did new material at the Olympic closing ceremony.
Never a great idea. Well, very interesting, James. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for listening for all these years. And Chesney's going to pop in and see us at some point, so we'll talk a bit of West Ham. We'll see you then, hopefully.
Brilliant, guys. Thanks so much.
Cheers, James.
James Gidding's there, programmer at FIFA, has put on half-time shows for them. Yeah, I mean, they've got to keep it tight. You cannot mess with that, can you, really? You can't be messed. You can't be half an hour.
I can probably name you 2 good World Cup finals, so it doesn't actually make much difference. It's always quite a boring game, isn't it? The final. Final's not great, is it? It's always quite boring. I'm sure if you've got skin in the game, I'm sure it's amazing. Yeah.
I did go to a particularly boring one in America in 1994.
I can name you
if you love defending, you would have loved it.
The last one was good, wasn't it? The last World Cup was good. That was a good final.
So, still to come this afternoon, Justin Morehouse popping in to see us. Junior and Sember joins us next from Wigan Warriors. He's just fresh from Vegas, where Wigan Warriors put Warrington Wolves to the sword. It was, fascinating experiment. It looks like it's going to keep happening. It was very successful. We'll see what it was like for Junior and the other Wigan players. Look ahead to the weekend. Jamie Roberts from the world of rugby union joining us in the next hour as well to talk a bit of Wales and why he's feeling a bit more optimistic.
Yeah, pretty good,
after the last game that he'd felt before. That's all to come.
Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs, Monday to Friday afternoons 1 till 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.